I am Thor, son of Odin, and as long as there is life in my breast, I am running out of things to say.
Great, another broken white boy for us to fix.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are. With great power comes great responsibility. I can do this all day.
Wakanda forever!
And welcome, internets, to another episode of Views from the 616, the blackest MCU podcast in the multiverse, powered by four all nerds, where we discuss everything in the MCU from the perspective of people of color, black girl. So we are back, y'all, but not only are we back with returning triumphantly, dun 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 dun, DJ Benhameen. But before I get to him, I gotta do my AKAs. I am Tatiana King, aka the Book of Ashanti, T'Challa Bread, Fax's Destroyer, Doc Aki, Clandestiny's Child, Sorry to the Inhumans, and Coldest Winter Soldier ever. And of course, as I mentioned, welcome back, DJ Benhameen. Please reintroduce yourself to the audience.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, DJ Benhameen, a.k.a. Black Tom Petty, Karen Civil War, Hank Grimm the Sad Titan, Blatu the Black Watcher, a pimp named Sam Wilson, the Lawn Swordsman, Armand Duquesne, the Fifth.
Pronouncing that W real hard in swordsman. But
Swordsman.
Sword. I never really thought about the levels of what you just said about Ben Grimm and the sad Titan. Like,
Yeah,
nigga, he
Grimm.
really is a Titan.
The Sad Titan, yes.
He really is the sad Titan. Aww.
Yes. Well, Ben
yeah.
Grimm, the Sad Titan, works too. I
That's
was
what I
going
thought you
for Hank.
said. But
No, I was
said
going for
Hank.
Hank Grimm, as in Hank Pym.
Hank Grimm. I thought you meant Ben Grimm because I was thinking
Yeah.
of things. So look at
True
that.
indeed.
Look
Yep.
at that. This is the brilliance you get from Views from the 616, y'all. And we are here to talk all things She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode 4. As usual, we're going to give you what we liked, what we didn't like so much, some of our takes on some of the Easter eggs, maybe some inspirations there, and maybe a little bit of music, right?
Yep.
So, Ben, we're going to get right into it. Tell me your overall feeling about this episode.
Well, I haven't been here for a minute. So I haven't, I don't know what the temperature in the room is.
You know what the temperature in the room is. Look at Twitter.
Regarding She-Hulk. I haven't really seen much on Twitter, on my timeline, and I haven't been searching really. So, and I know there's been a lot of like unnecessary, unwarranted hate, to the utmost, and just a lot of pointless, nonsensical hate.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I don't want to say issues with She-Hulk. It's something we discussed in our first episode. The things that I love about it are the things that I hate about it. And that remains to be the same. Sometimes I feel the wacky tone of She-Hulk is great. And sometimes I feel like the wacky tone of She-Hulk is like, what am I watching?
It's hard to pinpoint how to feel about it. Because like you said, and it is the wacky tone, but it's not just a wacky tone. It's the fact that you don't know whether it's placed at the right times. Like,
Yes.
It's like, should it be wacky here in minute 55, or not even 55, minute 23 versus minute 16? Or, shouldn't we like change the tone of it? It's weird.
It's overall so far of the 4 episodes we've seen, pretty much wacky throughout. And sometimes that needs to be toned down a bit. This is not as egregious as Thor Love and Thunder, where I felt like I was being insulted.
Yeah.
But at times, I felt where I'm being tested, where I'm like, how much will this man put up with to review a Marvel show?
That's largely how I felt too. Like, if for those who've been watching my solo reviews, like I've generally been trying to stick with the stuff that I liked and just really kind of breeze by the stuff I dislike. And I was like, yo, all I'm gonna do is sound like a hater. But I agree with Ben. Like,
okay, well, that's good to know.
I agree with you. It's just like sometimes I don't know how to feel. And as we speak on it, I'm starting to formulate my understanding and really true understanding of my opinion. And I think what it is I prefer Marvel projects that are balanced. I don't like too goofy or where it's like confusingly goofy. Like, do I like this or is this weak? Whack. or something that's way too serious. I'm like, yo, this is boring as fuck.
Mm. So,
and I keep using it as the true king right now, but like, I don't know, I fucked like Loki had a good balance, and this more recently, Miss Marvel, that was the balance. Like, it was just like, I don't know how, like, we just go back and listen to our reviews where we really express how these episodes were constructed. And I think that's why we appreciate it and enjoy them a little bit more, because, you know, I don't want to get academic about it, but like we appreciated the structure and the thought. Not to say that there was no thought that put into She-Hulk. It was just a different style of thought. And I don't know, we really fuck with it like that.
If you're watching on twitch.tv/forallnerds right now, you just saw me struggling to contain my laughter.
Like, I'm trying.
As Tatiana
I'm trying.
giving her response, because it's just what you said. It's like, one, I'm sitting there trying not to laugh because we're spending more time talking about Loki and Miss Marvel.
I'm sorry, y'all. So I was just trying to, and that's why I'm like, I was literally just trying to get an overall feeling for this episode 4, but
it was
like,
alright.
It was. That's literally what you said the last time you was with me. It was high.
Damn it.
Here's the issue. Is it just going to continue?
Ain't nothing changed.
Here's the issue, Ben, though. Is it going to continue to be for the next 5 episodes? There's 9 episodes.
Ooh, that's what I mean. I remember when I read that and they were like, yo, She-Hulk is 9 episodes. I was like, word?
And where does that number come? 9? Like,
I was like, why? Like,
Miss
Marvel got number. 6, right?
The last few series we've been watching has 6, and then the longest maybe like 13. But
and Miss Marvel was 30 minutes too, right?
Who, Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Miss Marvel was an hour or 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay,
yeah, Miss Marvel was much longer. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, in the words of Benhameen, it's tight. It's tight.
So maybe it is. So it's like, I mean, so that means you had to take 2 episodes to get the same amount of time that you would get per Miss Marvel episode. So that was my real issue with episode 4, is I felt like it was light. And once again, it's like the tone, it's like, you know, Madison, you know, it's Madison, it's screaming goats from Thor. It's like, these things are going to be funny once or twice. And I actually enjoyed Madison and the actress doing her much more than the screaming goats.
Yeah.
But how much Madison and Wongers am I going to be able to take? And
But my thing is, I remember discussing the length of the episode, noting that at least in episode 1, it just felt so short. It felt abrupt to me. But I honestly think they cram up. Let me not say cram. I think they are actually doing a good job of putting a lot in such a small space of time. I don't even think they need more time. The problem is what they're choosing. You know what I mean?
Well said.
So I don't know. That's the overall feelings, though. We didn't even get to the stuff we liked.
Okay, what did I like? I liked Donny Blaze. I know that people are
going. You like that crackhead? What?
Look, I know that people are going to be so mad at him having no relation to Donny Blaze, aka the Ghost Rider. I get it. I know people are going to be really upset about that.
Them niggas swore up and down back in August. Early August when some pictures came out, official pictures came out, and there was someone said, "Oh, I see a sign that says Blaze on it." Then the streets went wild saying, "Oh, Donny Blaze."
I missed that. Okay.
And then you see this shit, and I was like, "Y'all mad?"
Yeah, and I think Marvel did this already once with the whole boner thing with Quicksilver and WandaVision, which I thought was funny. But I think people are gonna get tired of them doing things like this, especially the people who really care about, you know, Donny Blaze the Ghost Rider. And there are people out there.
Does Marvel care about people who really care about Donny Blaze?
I doubt
Marvel doesn't care about Donny Blaze people.
And the effed up thing is, this is the 60th year anniversary of Ghost Rider 2. They're planning a big toy with him coming up soon. That's about it, folks.
Well,
hold that L.
So you liked.
Look, you know, Donny Blaze might still show up soon. We don't know. And I like Donny Blaze. One is because I love the actor. What's his name? Reese Coro. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. but I love him. He's famous for playing Billy Walsh on Entourage. If anyone's a fan of Entourage, he was the movie director who was always there with the boys, always getting into trouble, a wild boy in himself, and just a great actor, great at playing an out-of-control white boy. And once again, he returns as an out-of-control white boy in this episode, so I like Donny Blaze for that, you know?
Yeah. I say I like, once again, I like the tone, and I don't know if I like the tone. I liked, what I will say is, when I talked about structure, I like the general approach that we're seeing to be getting with the series, which is Jen taking on these wayward cases, misfits of all parts of the corners of comic book world coming to life on this show. Like literally, you kind of confirmed it with me, but a lot of these throwaways and also rans like seemingly popping up on this show, and they're being used to actually good effect. Like they're used for their purpose, and then you may not even see them again. Like I don't think after this we may or may not see Donny Blaze again. I don't know, but the point is, I don't know if we're gonna see Madison again. The point is, like, they're used to their effect, and then they keep it moving, right? So these misfit type of cases and her coming up with creative solutions to win. Wong is like bro man from the fifth floor. He just pops in and out when he fucking feels like it. Like I like that. I think that works, particularly for the type of tone that they're going for. Yeah. And I like seeing on a more serious note, because I know Daredevil, it will probably be obviously the more serious part of the law. You get to see how the human laws of magic and mutants and powers, how that actually starts being, they making precedents now. They're making new laws now. They're making new approaches to how to deal with these people in the human society now. So we get to see those implications of what happens in the later series.
Think Wolverine is going to show up in this from that bar fight in that episode?
Word?
I mean, you know about that, right? That was mentioned on...
no, I don't know about this.
Oh, man. I think that was in the second episode while I was gone. When she looks on the internet at one point, and funny thing is, I didn't notice because there's like some Iron Man 3s, the Jordans. And so I was peeping that. But below that, there's a little blurb where it says, man gets in fight in bar with claws, with metal claws.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and so immediately the internet went crazy. It was like, okay, Wolverine confirmed, et cetera. So could Wolverine show up in this, by the end of it? Because I think, like that, what you just said, I really like. And I know there are certain characters who are, like, there's been photos of them, so they're going to show up. And they are some of the more random-ass, like, characters. And I know I wasn't here for the Wrecking Crew when they showed up. And, the Wrecking Crew showed up. That's their first introduction to the MCU, who are a bunch of random-ass characters who somehow get magic imbued in them by Loki,
like construction tools, like literally
construction tools.
That dumb shit that she was joking on them on. That is literally what they got. That's what powered up with in the comics. Like I'm like, all right.
This is another big moment that people missed. Is that Thunderball, one of the Wrecking Crew in the comics, is a black man?
I said that actually.
Okay, there.
I mentioned that actually, and he's very fucking smart.
Yes.
Including beating our friend Bruce Banner a little bit in his own game when it comes to that shit. So
shout out to Ta-Nehisi Coates, who wrote an incredible interaction between Thunderball and T'Challa, where T'Challa eventually takes Thunderball to Wakanda, and I won't spoil it for everyone else who read it. It's an incredible interaction. So look it up, Google it if you want. Just read that little panel and page. It's beautiful work. Yeah, so that's a big change, and one I really don't care about. Like, it's cool. Like, and I know there's that addition by subtraction, and but I don't see anyone talking about recast Thunderball.
Well, that's also because niggas don't know, and that's why y'all niggas being picky and choosy. My niggas, I mean white people, but also some of y'all fanboys, some of y'all
not just the white people,
color fanboys of color.
Because
too.
Like I say, that's the same thing. That's a subtraction, and people talk about. We can't have T'Challa anymore. That's a subtraction. That was a subtraction right there. You just lost Thunderball, a really great character. I know his name is Thunderball, but he's a fantastic character with a lot of depth to him. And like the reason why he became a criminal and everything was broken down by that Ta-Nehisi issue. It's incredible.
So he's still a criminal, but he's just not black. But he's not black.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's a subtraction that people talk about. But I don't see recast Thunderball being going out there. I'm just saying. picking and choosing.
Y'all are being picky and choosy.
So I didn't like that. No. No.
Not even this episode.
Yeah, no, but I did like it because I love the Wrecking Crew, and I thought that was great to see them. And like I say, the randomness, because I won't mention his name. It's on the internet, but I don't want to say it because it's so ridiculously goofy. But one of my favorite ridiculously goofy Marvel characters is coming up in an episode soon. So I'm here for that.
Okay.
Oh my God!
These must be the characters where they got the names that piss me off. Like I'm like, really, Stan and all y'all really named this nigga like, you know, Trapezoid Man and shit like that.
Look.
Because there's characters like that. Like Benhameen, there's over the years, these character names that Benhameen have told me, I'm like, I know you fucking lying.
That's
like,
what I'm looking.
Like I know you fucking lying.
I'm trying to put it out there because it's on the internet already. Razorback is showing up in an episode soon, and he's named Razorback because he like wears a hog, like a razorback hog's head, and he's like super strong. I guess.
Like the type of board that's called the razorback.
Like a boar. Yeah,
all right,
like
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like
I
now
guess
we're
he
in
has
Game
the
of
power
Thrones.
and strength of a boar. I think I'm not really sure.
Fuck out of here. I'm not.
As a kid, I just thought it was cool. You know, he had a razorback head, and
all right. So the other thing,
this is that weirdness of comics you wanted.
I didn't ask for this shit. I didn't ask for none of this shit. I'm just a you know, unsuspecting passenger on this wild fucking thing called She-Hulk. But the other thing that I did like about episode 4 is that they show the perils of online dating, and also how the uniqueness of how that shit affects Jen being a Hulk, and how people no one sees it for her as Jen Walters, but the minute she's She-Hulk, even puts her profile up as She-Hulk and is this Amazonian, you know, mutated person, all of a sudden she's worth something. And then they show that so many different ways about how people are treating her, including that fucked up date where it was just like, oh, the guy, he was a doctor, he was this and that, and he was in tune with his feelings. And then the minute she was just little old Jen Walters, he was like, bruh, you're not changing back to the city girl? I mean, is this girl? I don't want her.
I mean, but that's like, you know, she didn't want him for being some little old dude. She wanted him for being a hot body dude.
The hot body was a plus. She said, yo, you're into the thing. You're into my emotions and you into talking. All he did was sit there and she was talking for fucking hours. Yeah. And he was just sitting there in tune with her.
Well, she should have known that he was a, you know, damn lie right there. You know.
But also, how could you, right? Because according to her, she hadn't dated in like fucking forever. And I mean, it was desperate for me. It was a bit desperate for me, but I understood too.
I feel for her, you know. I mean,
she don't put herself out there like that. So how would she? She should know, but she didn't.
But I also don't believe, you know, like I feel like that's a big difference. You know, that's not like somebody taking off their weave or something or like their makeup.
What's
like
the big difference? But that is a big difference because it is similar, actually. She-Hulk in the way Jen uses She-Hulk, at least for now, it is just a costume at this point. Because Jen she didn't even want to deal with that shit. Remember when she first got the job, she walked in that bitch as herself because she said, oh, you're hiring me because I'm a lawyer. They said, nah, nigga, we hiring you because you're She-Hulk and you're a lawyer. The lawyer part came secondary. It was like, well, you are not even a superhero, but we see you as an other that represents the other, and you happen to know the law, so let's hire you. Yeah. And man said that point blank, but that's my point.
She took the job.
And she took it, but my point is like when you were like, oh, well, it's not like you just took off a weave or whatever. Yeah, actually, sometimes people do react that way. Like, if I go on a date and a guy is that type of guy who he's looking for someone who has straight long hair, and I take off that wig and I'm bald headed, he might be like, well,
yeah, and to me that's his prerogative.
But it's not his prerogative because she's still the same person versus She-Hulk.
She-Hulk ain't a wig.
Let me be clear. I'm not defending this guy, but what I'm also saying is, if you went on a dating app and She-Hulk's profile came up and She-Hulk's likes and dislikes and all her shit came up and you swiped on her to date She-Hulk, then Jen Walters shows up.
Yeah, I'd be mad.
That's bait and switch.
Yeah. And that's what he feels like happened.
Now, what the fucked up part about it is, and this is why I say I'm not defending the guy, the fucked up part about it is the person who's speaking, the person who's interacting with him is still Jen.
Yes.
She's just wearing a costume per se, right? It's still her inside.
But that's he feels like that, you know, he was dating She-Hulk. He didn't want to date Jen.
So are you dating? So and that's why I'm saying why it's so fucked up though, because it's like, okay, but you're dating a facade. Like at the end of the day, the person that's still saying those words and thinking that way is still Jen Walters.
If he had sat there and listened and looked like the dude who hopped out on her with the fucked up hairline, would she have let him beat? Would she have scooped him up and taken him to the bedroom? She a little
desperate. If I don't.
Maybe
I don't know.
right. Yeah, the way
she's a little desperate.
She was horny on Maine, fam. It was bad.
She was
bad.
wild thirsty. So
Wild.
I don't know. I think, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember the sequence of what she's like when she was basically self-narrating. Like she was like, oh, I think she was talking about how he treated her and then added on, oh, and he's hot physically.
And she's like, not that it matters, but it does.
Right. Yeah, it matters. But my thing is, it wasn't the first thing she said. Yeah, you're physically attracted to him, but she was more into everything else. And then she's like, yo, and this nigga got body. Yeah.
She ain't throwing his sweater away if that man looked like that other dude. She's like, yo, put that sweater right back on, Holmes. Put that joint right back. I don't care what you spill on your shit. Put that sweater back on, bro.
Yeah, but she might have still smashed because that's what
I don't look like that other dude. I know what it's like. You know, I'm not getting the, oh, let me hide your sweater. You know what I mean? No.
Let me hide your sweater.
No.
But speaking of the other dude, that's the other last thing that I loved. That moment where it had that climatic music where it was like, who's gonna take the check? I knew that scrub ass nigga was not picking up the check. For her to even have an inkling of a thought that she was wilding.
Not even.
That shit was not happening, bruh.
No way, no how. But that was great. The whole music, the pause, their whole date. I loved all that too. I loved the online dating thing. I thought the last dude was wildly unrealistic, but I thought it was also hilarious. You know, like, come on, my man's reading the Roxanne Gay book while you go on.
Clearly unrealistic. Like, this is not for real.
I mean, had the green eyes, you know, the body sitting there reading Roxanne Gay.
And he's
like,
a doctor, and he's this and that.
Yeah.
Nah, Brad. What's
my man
the
let
catch?
you drop demon semen on him and it kept it moving. Like, no.
Right, like, that's the part that sent me. I'm like, not demon. First of all, I just realized you said demon semen. Secondly, the way that he didn't bat an eyelash.
He was used to demon semen.
And that was me. I'm like, bitch, get the fuck off me. What the hell is that?
Fam, I don't care how hot you are. You drop out of
that's nasty.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Everything about that. No, hell no. I don't know where you been. You've been fighting demons. Like,
yeah.
I could die. You know,
I could
all
die.
kinds of diseases.
Like, you popped out a motherfucking portal. Like, understand this is the world of Earth 616, this Marvel. So we see wild shit happen for years now. But goddamn, I'm on this match date, like matcher, what they call it, their version of Tinder or whatever. But like, why is this happening right now?
But see, okay, that's what it is. My man wanted to smash She-Hulk.
He wanted to smash She-Hulk.
It didn't matter what was happening. Yes. He was like, yo, my goal is to smash.
He was fetishizing
She-Hulk. Yep. There it was. So he didn't care about the demon semen.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about it, but what did we dislike, Benhameen? You and I have the same dislike. This is funny.
And it was like, I'm sitting and watching it, and my one major note for the show was like, how is this judge allowing this court case to continue in her courtroom?
Like, be serious. Like that's the most unserious judge and situation. I'm like, this isn't real. And not to say the show is real, but like, I thought y'all emulating like Courtroom. Like, what?
The only thing I can let it go with is that she was terrified of Wong. And she was just afraid that Wong would transport her to hell. So she would allow anything to go. Other than that, it made no sense.
The black judge from the previous episode, he was more realistic to me. He was like on some Judge Math, which is so funny because he reminded me of some Judge Math, and Judge Math is a TV judge. But still, like, he just wasn't about that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, y'all not playing games in my courtroom. Whereas this random fucking judge was just unserious.
When Donny Blaze's lawyer started doing magic tricks, I wanted to throw something to my TV.
Like, she said, well, nah, I'm going to let that ride. Yeah. And he could continue to practice magic pending my... My nigga Wong, who I assume you know who the fuck he is and the levels of where he is because you live in Earth 616 and been through the blip and all this other shit, you would think, and that's what I'm saying, it's so fucking unserious. Yeah. Do people not give a fuck about, I mean, I guess it's like, you know, the world of Twitter. It's just like, you know, someone does something heinous one day and the next day no one cares. Or something magical one day, no one cares, right?
Pretty much.
Like, he's the sorcerer supreme. This isn't the first time you've seen a nigga. This isn't the first time he's like saved the world.
I mean, this nigga has probably at this point movies made about him. You know,
they have fucking
several.
Broadway play. So that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, is it because it's Wong? Is it just because that's just the tone of the show? Like, I just could not believe after. And I get that's the joke, but like after everything Wong was saying, it's like you don't take nothing what he's saying seriously. Like nothing.
Even then, that's fine. Okay, whatever. You know, there's still
Where's
rules
the
and
decorum,
laws.
Ben?
Yeah, but where's the decorum? That's my part. It's like once the other Donny Blaze, his magician, the lawyer magician, starts doing his tricks, his man falls asleep in court while Wong is speaking. It's just like, come on, fam. She would have thrown everyone out of court.
Right.
You know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Order in the courtroom. Order in the courtroom. You know? Come
We
on,
would not. We
disrespect.
clearly we would be kicking them niggas out. Like
Yeah, you out of here.
not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
Yeah.
No.
And the other stuff, like most of the stuff we just like we already talked about. Just the tonality that is just a bit confusing to us. Maybe because we're just dissecting things, but it's just like I know people also, and we say it a lot. Like sometimes it's just about having fun. And we get that. It's just
It still got to be good. It still got to be well done fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and this has parts that are good. Like Tatiana King is an incredible actress. It doesn't matter what you give her, she's gonna make it work to a point. But I felt like, especially with this episode was light. Like, and not only light, it's just like so, like you said, I enjoy the courtroom stuff. But once Wong comes to get her to squash a bunch of demons that he could have just sucked up at any point.
I was like, this is dumb. Like, why are we? It was just like, are y'all throwing this in because it's like, oh, it's a Marvel project,
some action, yeah.
So we got to throw in action, but we recognize the action is going to be different. Like,
your
like y'all
action
had
can be
Titania bust in the courtroom. Okay,
yeah, your action can be in talking. You know, like there can be action and drama in conversations. It doesn't have to be 3D She-Hulk punching, you know, demons. That was just a waste when Wong at the end of the fight just says, well, I'll just,
like he just did the fucking Dyson vacuum spell. I'm just like, why not do that shit in the first place?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was just like an afterthought, like, oh, well, we got to throw something comic book-esque in here and let's here it is. And it's just like, no, we didn't need to do that. And maybe we'll see it in later episodes. I'd rather see like some Charlie Day shit, like she like coming together with some brilliant strategy to like beat somebody in a court case, like on some Ace Phoenix. What's that fucking game? Phoenix Attorney. God damn it.
Ace Phoenix. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Objection. Yeah, but I don't know.
I gotta look it up real quick. But that like some shit like that where it's like, oh, you fucking, you know what I mean? Like you fucking destroyed them with your
wit and your thought process, instead of your punches. Yeah, no, that's
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
There we go. Yeah, and that's what I agree with pretty much is that I didn't need that. And I know that because the internet's being what they are probably going to make the big reach and say that the demons are coming from what in the comics is the realm Limbo. And Limbo is this realm where demons reside, and it's famously known in the comics for being the place where Magic, the sister of Colossus of the X-Men, at one point was trapped during her childhood. That's where she grew up. Then she became the ruler of Limbo, and she uses her portals, which are like the Wong and Strange portals, but they're just circles that appear, that she can teleport back and forth from Limbo, and she's also a demon sorceress. And I feel like because we saw demons coming out of a portal, people are going to make that big reach, but I feel like this has nothing to do with that.
It probably has nothing, and that's also just leads to my last point, just about like, is this Marvel's version of a Seinfeld / Law and Order type show where it's like nothing, there's no real point to the episodes. It's just like there's no greater point. It's just stuff that's happening on a day-to-day basis. Like, is that what the point is? And if so, that okay, fine. It's just like at least on episode 9, that's where we get the big connection point. Like, okay.
No, I think the point is, you know, because it's a serial show where things are happening, and I think this is just her, like you said, it's her wacky adventures of being a lawyer in the MCU, and some episodes we're going to get her punching some demons, and maybe one episode we'll get a good court case with Matt Murdock, you know, and maybe one episode Wolverine will show up, and all the fan people will be like, oh, look, the mutant's here, and I'll be like, I don't care, because it was still a bad episode, but, you know, I don't know.
And the show's so self-aware that even She-Hulk says it about these cameos, but it's like, is that what we're leaning on, cameos?
Yes. I saw it recently where someone was talking about how the only thing that'll save the Black Adam movie is Superman being in a cameo. And I'm like, what?
Save it. Y'all,
Yeah,
they're
like-
ready. How are we at save it?
Because that's how people are
We
operating
didn't
now.
We didn't even get a fucking
said-
droplet of it. Save
I've said
it.
this about the MCU too, where people are like, what was the end credit scene? Not even worried about what the movie was like.
That's so weird, y'all. Like it hasn't.
Or like
not
people-
a drop really came out yet, and y'all talking about it needs to be saved. How?
Because people don't care, like especially DC fans, especially those extreme ones you see online. Some of them are very weird, where they just
Y'all
want,
wildin'.
they want Henry, they want, Snyder, blah blah. Anyway, but I've seen the same thing with the MCU fans, where they're like, "Oh, that was a terrible movie, but those end credit scenes got me hyped for what's coming next," and it's like.
So y'all shitted on the whole movie just for that. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's also like, but this movie wasn't good, so even if the end credit scenes got you hyped, does that mean the next movies should be no good with those same things that got you hyped before? Probably.
Good question.
Unless they right the ship, and right now the ship has been going all over the place.
Good fucking question, Benhameen.
We got hope for you, Black Panther too.
Like, where does the sentiment come from, bro? Like, did we
save us?
Precedents? Like, no, that shit don't matter. Okay, whatever.
I mean, I'm just look. It's
Like,
not,
how did we get there? Save us.
It's not a lot. I mean, yeah, it's bad, fam. Like, phase, whatever this is, has been like, look, we got to be honest. It's been tight.
It's been questionable.
Yeah, it's been tight.
It's been questionable.
Like, wow, y'all.
Ben, did you have any more comments about episode 4 She-Hulk?
Not really.
Right.
The dad, She-Hulk's father, the actor was in an 80s show, Perfect Strangers, which a lot of people remember because it led to the creation of Family Matters. Family Matters is actually a spinoff of Perfect Strangers. And so I like seeing him show up. Cousin Larry from Perfect Strangers showing up as the dad. So it's like the sitcom, tying into a new sitcom. So I like that, And he's a good actor, plays the father well. I like their interaction. So that's another thing I like. I like Jim Walter's whole family effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
As of now, this is the last episode we got early, so we are going to be seeing the rest of the She-Hulk series in real time with everybody else. So, not that we never spoil anyway, but we really can't tell y'all anything or even give y'all a glimpse of what's
Razorback coming, baby.
Because we have no idea, but I'm looking, since it's all about the cameos, I'm waiting for the Daredevil cameo because we know we already know for a fact that's happening. I'm waiting for Charlie Cox to come through.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for some serious law shit to come down. I'm waiting for him to be like, why y'all niggas don't have no decorum in the courtroom? Like I'm waiting for that shit. I'm waiting for a fight in the hallways. If we gonna fight randomly someplace, let's fucking fight in the court. Like, let's throw gavels and shit at niggas. Like, let's fucking flip benches and shit. Like, come on, let's fucking do it.
I'm waiting for
do it live.
Titania to show back up because I really love her.
Yeah, and
I love her character.
And I know. Have you been seeing? Because they gave her a Twitter account or the character Twitter account, and Jamil, played by Jamila. So have you been seeing how they've been doing the marketing, the live marketing, really, with her?
Amazing.
In real life, spray painting over pictures and billboards of She-Hulk, and that's fantastic. And I like the bleed, and just like the show, it's bleeding into real life. That's smart as hell. Yep. I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, and I'd love to see her continue playing. I mean, we still have 5 more episodes, so I'm sure Titania should be in at least 3 of them. So I hope we get more time with her, and then even after the series, she carries on because she's a great character with a lot of ties to other characters in the MCU, like Absorbing Man, and they have a great relationship. So I'd love to see that continue. That'd be really dope.
Cool. All right.
Also, Daredevil will be wearing the red and yellow costume. Allegedly, that's what seems to be the case. Yeah, that's what people are inferring. It looks like that slightly in the little quick clip we see, and so it seems to be that in the comics originally he wore a red and yellow suit before he went to the all red, and at various times he switched back and forth. So I'm hoping for that.
All right. So that has been.
I mean, the man is blind, like it ain't like he can see what he's wearing.
That's been our review of episode 4 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. If you liked what you hear, thank you so much for listening and watching us on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube For All Nerds TV. We need you to do a few things for us. Please make sure you are following us on your favorite podcast platform. We are For All Nerds, and the show Views from the 616 is powered by For All Nerds, led by myself and DJ Benhameen in the other window there. Please make sure you're also, Benhameen mentioned Twitch. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/4allnerds. If you have Amazon Prime, you actually get a free subscription to any channel of your choice for a month, and you just got to re-up each month. So please let that be For All Nerds. We appreciate all of our subscribers. You get access to really cool little emoticons and stuff like that. Also, if you love us coordinating in our Views from the 616 t-shirts with the Blackest MCU Podcast in the Multiverse tagline in the back, we also have this and a variety of brilliant designs that you can put on shirts, masks, cups, books, anything you could think of, hoodies. We allow it. We will allow it. So make sure you go to tpublic.com/stores with an S /4allnerds, where you can get all of this merch. This merch is one of the ways you can support us. But an even better way, the best way to support us financially, is Patreon. Patreon.com /4allnerds. Every tier is an incredible tier. You get privileges that no one else can get. You get free shit, you get access and videos and all sorts of content that no one else is getting. And sometimes you get stuff a whole day before everybody else because we fuck with you. Thank you. We're helped run this program you're watching here. And this is also how we support our team and our staff. So thank you so much. Make sure you're following myself at Tatiana King on the social medias. Please follow at DJ Benhameen and thank him for returning. Wish him some love there. Anything else you want to share, Benhameen?
Not too much other than that we will be at New York Comic-Con the first week in October. Well, actually the second week in October, 6th through the 9th. We will be up in that joint doing all kind of things. Make sure you following us on all the platforms so you can find out what we're doing, where we'll be at, and all of that other good stuff. And a few other things cooking. You know, we cooking. We got a new little platform out there. You might be noticing some changes, you know. But things is moving, you know, it's working. Thank you for being here with the journey. Thank you.
Twerking like She-Hulk.
Having me back. Ugh.
Hey.
No, way better than She-Hulk.